Greetings, everyone. I am happy to be sharing with you today's video, which is about the 14 realms, lokas of existence, with Prashant Trivedi. So, Vedic cosmology describes 14 principal realms or lokas that constitute the manifested universe. These realms are traditionally divided into 7 higher planes of existence, the middle world, and 7 lower realms. Together, they represent a complete mapping of existence, encompassing material, subtle, celestial, and spiritual dimensions. Over the years, the interpretations have become a bit distorted, and so today we're going to be setting a clear foundation for the realms and its function according to Prashant's Gnosis of Vedic scripture. Prashant is the author of several critically acclaimed books on Vedic astrology. His knowledge is profound and extensive in ancient Vedic scripture. So, Prashant, so happy to have you with us here today. And we're just going to dive right in and start with the lowest of the realms, which is called Patal. This is the deepest and known to be a misunderstood realm. It's known as a place of suffering, and in the Puranas, it's said to be a magnificent subterranean world inhabited by powerful nagas, serpent beings, sorcerers, and secret dark forces.
Right. See, Julie, so in the beginning itself, we have again come to a term called Patal. It's a term now. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, according to the actual Vedic knowledge, all the worlds which are below the earth plane, we are on earth plane. Let's understand where we are on earth plane. Okay. So all the worlds which are below the earth plane, all of them, which are sub-terra, terra is earth, subterranean, below terra, below earth, are all called Patal. Patal is a term for all of them.
Mm.
First, it's not the lowest realm, even just below us, the right below us, where Asuras live, the beings called Asuras. Okay, you know, the ones which have more dealings with us right now, who are on Earth, like in the current Earth system, who control the current Earth system on the
Mm.
Earth plane. Those beings come from just below us. Okay. And that will also be called Patal. Now, the Patals have different names, like Sutal, Vital, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal. Okay. These are the different layer differentiations of the lower realms. You
Mm.
know, the same way, like the higher realms are all Swargas. Swarg is a term for all the higher realms.
Mm.
Just like Patal is for all the lower realms. Okay. The Swarg, that term is for all the higher realms, Swargas.
Mhm.
So they are similar. What that means, the higher realms are all similar in a way, and the lower realms are all similar, in a way. So there is commonalities between all the patalas, and there are commonalities between all the swargas, you know. So as far as the word pain you use, okay, like okay, the thing is density, you know, like we have the 5 elements here on Earth, okay. So the 5 elements: earth, air, water, fire, ether. Okay. So these are 5 elements. Now these elements either become more subtle. When they become subtler, we have higher realms. When they become more denser, we have lower realms.
Mm.
Okay. So lower realms doesn't mean that they're realms of exactly pain. They're just realms of more density. Okay. So density can be more tough to handle, right? You
Mhm.
know, like for example, like if you have a pyramid on earth, that with big stones, block of stones, you can't, it's very hard to move those stones weighing tons. They are dense. Okay. So some technology moved them and made the pyramids.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. So that is density. Now lower realm beings like patal beings came here and built those structures. Okay. Because they are used to density and they know how to handle density. Okay. Okay. So that takes care of all the, like all these Machu Picchu and all these ancient stone structures, pyramids, heavy, heavy, big structures all around the earth, cathedrals, big cathedrals, all of these antique tech, which people wonder how was this made thousands of years
Levitation
ago.
devices?
Yeah, whatever. There's a technology for that, right? Like
Hmm.
that tech. So, like right now, we're talking through this tech, like the computer and the internet, and, this tech. So this tech is also Patal tech.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But that Patal doesn't mean it's the lowest realm. It's just the realm below us, you know, which is bringing it in on Earth plane right now, these
Mm.
technologies.
Yeah,
Okay.
because in Hindu
Yeah.
cosmology, it does show that it's the lowest and the other ones that you mentioned. So yeah, there is that discrepancy. Uh,
Yeah. Patals are all of them are Patals, but now what the difference between each is, each layer, it'll get denser and denser. That
mhm.
much is clear. The lower we're going to go,
Would you
you know,
consider the petals to be like hells?
no, they're
Mm.
separate. Hell is a separate thing completely.
Oh, okay.
Hell is not a realm. Like, for example, hell is like like you have a prison or something in a city.
Hmm.
It's not the whole city. It's just the part, like one little place where it's temporary. It can be there. Sometimes it was there. Sometimes it wasn't there. It can be moved. Prison can be
Oh,
made here.
okay.
It can be made there. So hell is like a separate place which is made temporarily.
Yeah. I do see
Yeah,
it on Earth. Does it
yeah.
also reside in another realm in particular, or does it kind of go throughout?
Yeah, it's like a separate place by itself. Obviously, it will be lower than Earth. It'll be put lower than Earth, but it's not like Patal, you can't consider it hell by itself.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Because, I mean, there will be hellish things, like experiences, like on Earth also.
Yeah.
So those experiences will be more in Patal to a more degree, but they can't still be called hell exactly. In terms of just like something just for sheer punishment, sort of place, just like prisons are
Mm-hmm.
on Earth. They're a place of sheer punishment, right? Like they
Yes.
are not, it's no fun to be in one of those, right? So even Patal beings can be put to one of those, like this hell kind of place, which is like a temporary construction, which happens, you know, and that's all. Like it's not, but they won't consider their own realm hell, the beings who live in Patal. In
Mhm.
fact, like they are quite technologically advanced. Like, they have these high rises, flying cars, and things like that.
Yeah.
They're more like the Star Wars cities.
Yeah.
You know,
One of the realms is described as being floating cities that can shape and shift.
yeah, yeah. But so those are like more lower realms where they
Hmm.
have like big, which they try to replicate on Earth and New York and places like that. Like they try to replicate that kind of scene. Earth doesn't get to it properly,
Hmm.
hopefully, but they try to replicate that. Floating cities and stuff can be more like the Boer look, the one which is just above us. You know,
Oh, okay.
yeah, because that's like the Elven realm, which you've seen in Lord of the Rings and stuff. Like
Hmm.
that kind of feel. If you people want to feel like what it is like, it's more like the Elven realm, like the Boer look. You know, so it's um, it's less denser than Earth, so longer lifespan and you know things like that. So yes, so yeah,
You
it's
had mentioned that the Patel realms are ruled by the Asuras. For those that are unaware, who are the Asuras?
see, asuras are just the beings which are like sort of more of like not in tune. Sur means tune,
Oh.
tune. The word sur means tune, in tune. So either you can be in tune with the universe or you can be out of tune.
Hmm.
Okay. So sur are called devas. Devas are called surs. Devas means the beings which live in higher planes.
Oh, okay.
So they try to be more in harmony, what they call harmony, right? Like in tune with the universe's order and universe's, principles and rhythm and everything like that, you know. And asuras are the beings which tend to be more chaotic and not exactly following the universal rules and things like that. So, yeah.
Yes, that's
So,
right. One of the
so
realms is, it says it's ruled by dark magic and chaos.
yeah,
So
yeah.
there
So
is that.
and then Nagas is just a term, you know, for basically genetics. Okay, that one is something like that. Like it's not like exactly snakes. People think it's okay.
Mm.
Like Earth also has genetics. Everyone has genetics, and the DNA in humans also looks like snake, right? But after Earth, the higher planes,
Yes.
you know, you don't have this kind of genetic structures anymore. Okay, in the higher planes.
Mm.
Okay,
Why
so
is
you're above
that?
that
Because it's
because
less
the whole thing
density?
is very different. Like, okay, for example, if you go to heaven, for example, like Swarg, now you get a body just like that.
Mhm.
Whatever body you imagine, you don't have a mother, you don't have a father, you don't have a childhood, you don't have a right.
There's no raising. It's
There's no growth, like you're
yeah.
starting from a little, thing into a whole baby.
Mm.
Like this whole thing is not happening. So it's not like that. It's like whatever you can imagine, whatever you think you should look like, you look like that
Yes.
immediately.
So it's more
You get a
shape
body like
shift.
that. No, you
Yeah.
just get a body like that straight in heaven. It's straight.
Hmm.
It's still like physical because the earth element is there,
Mm.
but it's more subtle and you get the body you want, right?
Hmm.
Immediately. So there's no question of any mother, father, birth, this kind of thing. You know,
Can you change
St-
your features?
yes,
Hmm. Yeah, so there's no aging.
there's no aging in the higher plane, but Swarg and above is no aging planes, all of
Mhm.
them. No, so, like, if the higher planes we are talking about, like Mahar Lok, Tapolok, Gyan Lok, Rishi Lok, and Satya Lok, they all have things in common, like immortality, for example. That's
Mm.
common to all of them.
Okay. So does that
Yeah,
mean that all the Patel realms have mortality?
they have mortality. Earth has mortal. Earth and below, all of them are mortal planes.
Okay. Do the lifespans get shorter as we get denser?
No, they get longer.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So Earth is the lowest lifespan amongst the.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
So I mean, because you need time to develop technology and stuff, right? Like
Yes, that's right.
human life is not good enough. Like 100 years is not good. 120 years, which is the maximum human lifespan, is 120. Okay, is not good enough for developing things or learning things in that kind of detail. You know. Yeah. That's why humans were not like even the details of the realms was not meant for humans actually.
Mhm.
Because humans don't have that much time to understand and process. And a lot of things, unless you go and experience that, you can't really figure them out. You know, you can just be given some sort of like a vision of it, like a picture of it. Like, you
Mhm.
know, like even the element realm is shown in Lord of the Rings, but it's
Yeah.
not exactly real, like how it is properly. Like the details, they can't get it right there. It's impossible unless you go there. Lower ones we have more access to because they show themselves in Hollywood and stuff, you know, because they're coming from there, so they know about their own.
They're home.
Yeah, yes, subterranean home. So, so it's like, but Patal should not be considered like all realms below are Patal, all of them. And
Yes.
so the one right below us is the one which we should be concerned about because that is the one which deals with us most.
And speaking
Right.
of that,
Yeah.
like you said, Patal in the
Yeah.
cosmology, it's called Atala. It says that it's inhabited by the Bala demons, who are powerful beings associated with chaos and darkness, like we had mentioned.
Yeah.
It's a world of enchanting beauty, which you had mentioned, the perfection of beauty. And
Yeah.
that's where the Kardashians come from.
I
And
mean,
mhm.
yeah, if you can consider it beauty, I mean, like to some, it might not be
Yeah,
beauty. To some,
yeah,
it might be like, I mean, it's like, yeah, but it is more dealing with matter in
yeah.
that kind of way. Like, so,
Where
yeah,
seductive illusions mask deeper truths. It is
yeah,
said that here exists a magical river of intoxicating wine offering pleasures that can trap even the strongest beings.
yes. I mean, th this is like a more poetic sort of idea of something, rather than the realistic idea of something.
So
Okay, they
there
have
is no
technology.
river.
Not exactly.
Oh.
No. I mean, they have like a lot of things like rivers and plants and gardens like us. They also have.
Okay.
Okay, they have that, like, but not like of alcohol. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, okay, if there are countries where there's a lot of alcohol is produced, for example, like in the West, like in Europe, there's a lot of alcohol, right? And
Mm-hmm.
in Germany, they drink a lot of beer, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So the how the poet will put it is like beers, like rivers of beer are flowing in Germany.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
is a river of beer flowing? No, right? Like, no.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's a
I think
metaphor. Like,
a
yeah,
metaphor for just the level of intoxication being so
vacation. Yeah, yeah,
strong.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all. But let's not like that's why all this is poetic language and stuff. It was not meant to be taken literally.
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 So let's not like understand that, okay, they are more denser. Okay. They have their different that things. They have different way of that thing. They're more technological. And technology is like magic, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like right now, if you told humans that you could talk like that from a distance, like 100 years, 200 years ago, then humans would think that is
It's crazy. Yeah.
magic, like magic, it's a strange magic, like, like that's so it's the same thing. So their tech is the magic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
remember, I think you had mentioned that the med beds that
Yeah.
everyone was talking about here, that they actually do exist and they are from the realm below.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the point. Like, so let's I think the understanding of those realms, like for example, is not about like there's some reptilians doing who like kind of thing. And you know, it's like that's a poetic picture. It's not the realistic picture. I think all beings in all realms are human, like, okay, in blueprint, because the creator itself is like that. Two eyes, one nose. This form, this human form is a universal form.
Brahma.
So Brahma is like that, humans are like that, Devtas are like that, Asuras are like that. Everybody is like that only.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll find this form only. And if they are showing some other form, you know, that is like a mask, you
Okay.
know. Yeah, like Iron Man.
Yes.
There's inside a human, but you put all of those things and you become, but inside is still a human, right? Like the actual being is,
Okay.
right? So, so like in Star Wars and stuff, they show you all these different kind of beings,
Mm-hmm.
like so in lower realms you can genetically create those beings, kind of
Oh,
things. Yeah,
okay.
but the basic form for all beings in all the realms, let it be understood, all the realms, higher, lower, earth, is the human form. Is a basic blueprint form of
Mm-hmm.
the creator.
Even if they have a human form and they're in coming or existing in a higher realm,
Yeah,
it doesn't necessarily mean that because they have a human form, they have to eat and take care of the
no,
human body in the same way we
no,
do on Earth, right?
no. I'm
Okay.
just talking about the form. I'm not talking about the functions or the organs or internal
Functions.
organs. I'm not
Okay.
talking about that. So they are getting more denser. So if they're more subtler, they won't need to eat in. that thing, like drink
So they
like
probably don't
humans
have
do.
intestines or a digestive
No,
tract.
no, no, in that kind of thing, in way, like
Yeah.
not like that. Yeah, because that thing is all just energetic structures. But the form, the outward form would still be human. Like the two eyes, one nose, this head, body, everything would be like that. So, so humans will not get confused anyway in the universe. Actually, let's just understand that they will, everything will be just as it is on Earth to them, you know. So
Hmm.
it's not like there's no like weird aliens.
Hmm.
I mean, in the lower realms, they can encounter beings which are like that, but they have been just made,
Okay. Yeah.
genetically made. Like you can mix a couple of animals together, like right now, like
Hmm.
horse and donkey can make a mule, like that kind of stuff. You know, right now, a lot of dogs have species have been made, cats have been made on Earth,
Yeah.
right? Which are not natural, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So you
kind
can
of
have
like what,
experiments with humans and animals too,
yeah,
that
it's
kind of
like what
experiments.
Hitler was trying to do to create the perfect, genetic human
Yeah,
in appearance and the way that they looked.
yeah, I mean, that is also not like that genetic breeding is not about looks more, but different other things, But yeah, but that's another matter. But like what I'm saying is this is like actual genetic splicing to between human and animal to create different hybrids and stuff, you
Yeah.
know, which they can do in lower realms. Okay.
Oh, that
Because they
just
have the tech
reminds
for
me
that.
that's probably why we have hybridized food as well, because it's feeding
Yeah.
in from the lower realm all of their
Yeah.
influence.
And they are in charge on Earth right now. They are.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that change. Um,
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
want to mention about our Earth realm because this is where we are now.
Yeah.
And its purpose, the Earth realm occupies a unique position as it is here that the karma is generated, spiritual evolution can potentially take place, and liberation, moksha, can ultimately be pursued. There is pain, suffering, joy, failure, loss, disease, illness, aging, and a short lifespan. Many divine avatars descend here to restore cosmic order and have
Yeah.
descended here to do
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yes. So the thing is, human life is good enough for actually like transcending
Hmm.
this existence and going into higher planes.
An
The
opportunity.
lifespan, the lifespan is good enough for doing that.
Hmm.
Lifespan is not good enough for making high technology or stargates or things
Going to
like that.
Mars?
But there's no going to Mars. Okay,
No.
there's either you go to higher realms because the realm of the where the grahas function from, like Mars, Jupiter, Moon, Venus,
Mhm.
Saturn. That's the higher planes only. That's between Yamloka and Swargloka only. You know, these where these energies function from. You know,
They are functioning from the realm directly above us.
yeah, above us, like there's Bhorloka and then there's
Yeah.
Yamloka. Yamloka is where we human beings are processed. The spirits for who have life back on Earth. They go there and then they, as per their karmas, actions, they get life back on Earth. So that processing realm is called Yam Lok. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
yum. Let
Yeah.
me see where that is. So
Yeah.
I've got Borvalok, which is the one above us. Is this the
Yeah.
realm that you call the Elven realm?
Yeah. Almond realm. Yeah. But Yam Lok is sort of side by side. It's a side by side sort of thing.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah, because it's not
yeah.
here on the
Yeah. 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 Because there is a Pitrulok also. That's why I'm just saying like these things will not be mentioned. That's why
yes,
it gets complicated. I'm just saying
it's
like it'll get
complicated.
complicated. Yeah.
So just to clarify, there are
Yeah.
actual subtle realms in between the main 14.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. There's a whole lot of complication in all of those things. This is just for a general overview, right? Like, it's like so Pitraloka, where like ancestral spirits are there, you know, if
Okay.
they're not taking birth on Earth, so they kept there. So there's all kinds of different,
That's what in
like,
the West we call the waiting room. when
Waiting
someone
room, yeah.
passes over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And it's
yeah,
very true because my grandmother and grandfather both passed
yeah,
away 6 months
yeah,
within each other in 2020, not COVID related.
yeah.
And my mother had a dream with her mother who passed, and she showed my mother in the dream that she was in an actual waiting room. And she
Yes.
was there for over 6 months. And she's like, I've been here for a while. I'm just waiting to get sorted. My mom has no knowledge of anything that we're talking
Yeah,
about.
so
So she
that,
told me, yeah.
yes, that waiting room can be in Yamlok, but the beings which have to stay thousands of years or hundreds of thousands of years without coming back on Earth, then they have to go to Pitraloka. That's another thing,
Oh, okay. That's another
right?
side.
So
Yeah.
another side of the story, okay? And then there are the where the grahas are, these realms of these grahas, and then there is heaven.
Yes. Which is considered Svarglok,
Yeah,
right?
and there are different constellations and stuff which we see in the sky, which represent different lokas, like Shiv Loka or different nakshatras and all of that, like which show us the sky is showing us all the higher realms, right?
Oh, I didn't know that we were getting fed from the
You,
highest realms down, that we're
yeah.
able to see them and connect with them here.
Yes, that's what the sky is showing us. Like, for example, the Saptarishis
Uh-huh.
are the seven sages constellation is there. It's like a question mark. The seven stars, which are the mind-born sons of Brahma. So just before Brahma's lok, it's their lok. Okay.
Oh.
So
Is
we can
that
see
in
that.
nakshatra in particular?
There's no, these are above nakshatras. Okay.
Oh,
Nakshatras are created below them, right? Like, okay.
okay.
Yeah. So
That's
these are the
interesting.
beings which will create the nakshatras and the energies.
Okay.
Okay. So that's closer to the pole star, you know.
Mm.
So,
Mhm.
so that Saptarishi is there. Like, so that is you're seeing that look, you know, that
Wow.
Rishi look, from Earth. So all these like whenever you're looking up, you're looking into various heavens,
Hmm.
right? Up is heavens, below is above Terra and below Terra, right? Below Terra you can't see, you know. There's no way to see below Terra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And Earth we can't even dig. We dig more than 9, 10 miles we have dug. We have not dug much more than that, you know.
Yeah. I was just
So
thinking the underground tunnels and underground cities, that's still Earth realm, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that below Earth, like that is called Atal, the ones which are tunnels and stuff, which that is the Atala part
Hmm.
of Patal. So Atal is just below the land. Tal is land. Below the land, the tunnel area, that is Atal,
Okay.
which Patal beings can use, right? We are
Yes.
not using that.
Yeah. We don't have access to it.
Yeah, even if we had, like, we wouldn't be using it, right? Like who wants to go in
Yeah.
that thing? And no human would want to, right? Like, it's not.
I don't see it would be pleasurable in any
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
meaningful
You'll be
way.
like being in a dark cave. Even if you have illumination from different things, they can have electricity, power, different power plants or something like that. But still, it'll be strange for a human being to not
Okay.
have night and day, to not have sky above. You know,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Going into the one above Alva and Swarglok, which is called for all of the main ones,
yeah.
just so people have a little sense of how to get into this higher realm, which we would consider heaven. It's said that spirits who are developing into souls who have accumulated substantial merit are said to experience the fruits of their virtuous actions in this realm.
Mm,
Here
mm,
flows a river of nectar, music never ends, and time feels eternal. There is dancing and singing. The realm, however,
mm,
is not eternal, and is said when good karma fades, the soul must descend onto earth once more.
mm. So there's some facts and some non-facts here first. Like, okay, it's not because of merits you reach there. Okay. It is because of psychological sorting that you
Mm,
reach there. Okay.
okay.
Number one. Number two, once you reach there, you never come back. It is eternal if unless you do something anti universal laws.
Hmm.
There's no going down after going up until you break some law. There's no other way. It's not like some that things happen, like you did some karmas and they exhausted and you came down. It's not like that.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I felt was
Yeah.
distorted in
So
that
so so
description.
so so psychological sorting takes you there.
Hmm.
Okay. And if you stay psychologically sorted, you'll always stay there. And after that, if you want to learn more, once you reach it, Swarg, and do more tapasya and learn more, you can go to higher planes, higher than Swarg. So there's always the chance to actually go higher rather than fall down. Actually,
Hmm.
there is more of a
More momentum in that
momentum
direction.
impetus for that. Like, and it's nothing to do with only time when you actually do actions which are not befitting a deva, which is like going against the rules of universe.
Hmm.
Then obviously, automatically, universe has made places. Okay, you don't want to follow the rules, then this is the place. You can come down to the lower realms, right?
Yeah, a vibrational match to where you're at.
Vibrational match, yeah, like because there's a choice. That's why all spirits in the universe are having a choice where to navigate, where to go, you know, in that thing. And that should be the education. That's what I think should be the education for humans. Okay, you're going to do these kind of actions, you can go up there. If you do these kind of actions, you can go down to these realms. If you do these kind of actions, you can stay on Earth plane as a human and recycle. So all this should be like basic education
Yes.
for humans. You know, that's but that's what is not given because the beings which are in charge right now of education system don't want you to know that because you know and
Yes. And they
yeah.
are programming into society and into our cultures and into our youth behaviors that are actually devolutionary.
Yeah, because then you get more recruits for your own plane, right?
Exactly. They are literally recruiting down into Patal.
Yeah, yeah.
I call this the battleground realm.
Battleground. So they're advertising it strong right now since they
Yes,
rule all the advertising is for bringing
for
people there
that direction.
for that direction. Okay, no, and obviously they themselves never their whole plan is never to go up by following the universal laws. They want to do it by force.
Yes, in control.
Yeah, so they have taken Earth by force. Then they want to take the hard planes by force, which they're not able to take, but they try anyways.
Yeah,
you know so that's a different way of being, a different viewpoint of how to function in the universe you
yeah.
know so there is a
It's
they
ego
devtas are more
centric.
like peaceful and chill, like it's a chill aligning. So there's a serenity which comes with aligning with universal will, right? There's a serenity, peace, chill which comes with that. So
Mhm,
that's called the way of the devas, source, the sur and
mhm.
the asur, and humans are in between, which are a mixture of both the things. And humans can choose which side do they want to go on. They are in the middle, you know, like sort of neither here nor there type of mentality.
Yeah,
they, they can act like they sometimes, and they can act like a sort of sometimes. Like it's ain't no telling with a human being. You know what this so the clarity is not there in that way, but they have a chance to go either direction, so they're in
and
that.
speaking of clarity, I do want to, for those that didn't exactly understand what you meant when you said psychological sorting, because
Yeah.
that really is such a key to evolve into these higher realms. Could you please explain to those who don't understand what you mean when you say psychological sorting? What does that look
Okay.
like?
Okay, so psychological sorting is like, for example, like in Jyotish and things, like in the Vedic knowledge, there are these negative qualities, which normal people know, like of envy, jealousy, different negative qualities. They're called Shad Ripus. Okay, which ego, vanity, these kind of things, which come from like some psychological problem. Like that's a psychological issue, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so psychological sorting means that once you get above all these kind of issues, when you want good for everyone, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and all of that kind of thing, that is psychological sorting, getting above all the negative human tendencies, what they call negative human tendencies, you know. So,
Yeah.
so getting above that, like, so there are practices a human being can do,
Yes.
like meditation and centering,
Centering
try
and
check, which I've told, try check, which helps beings get the psychological sorting.
yes,
Okay,
I
which
would.
is which is the real stairway to heaven. I consider the
Mm-hmm.
actual
Yeah.
stairway to heaven.
Yeah.
So
And if someone wants to check within their own psychological makeup to see where they're at, I would say that to put it on a simple understanding, it's that if you are speaking lies and deception and distortion and not honoring truth, that's going to create more confusion and illusion in your psychological makeup. So I
yes,
really think that the North Pole, our direction that we aspire to head into, if you want to evolve, is to speak truth, to
but
value truth, to have clarity,
yeah,
honest,
reality. First,
reality. Yes.
okay, you know how a kid starts, like a child starts in the beginning. Oh, this is a tree, this is an apple, this is a wall, this is a, just saying facts.
Mhm.
Okay, and then after repeating the real facts, not illusions, the real facts, then you can go into the repeating the pure principles of the universe. Okay, so that's always be true. Okay, so not making stuff up, illusions,
Exactly.
you know.
And I've
So
noticed from these lower beings that, murderers and all of these Patal influences, if you really look at their character and all of that they've done, it's all deceptive, lying, delusion, all of these qualities come from that realm.
fiction.
Fiction.
Okay, you can go to a bookstore and you see the whole fiction section, like,
Yeah.
yeah, which by itself they're saying this is not reality, this is fiction. Okay, so like a whole that thing of, but most of the money is made in fiction, right? Like on that, right?
Yeah.
Nobody makes money in reality. It's made in fiction, right?
Just
Like,
like the biggest billionaires right now are just
yeah,
creating tons of
yeah,
fiction.
fiction. Yes, fiction. Yes, yes, yes. So the fiction is the thing, but that is not the way of psychological sorting, right? Like you're not going to do that to create psychological sorting, obviously, and
Exactly.
that is the pathway to the lower realms.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'm not saying people should not go to your lower realms or that thing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, but people should know what they are or what they're getting into. There should be education
Yeah, because we all have
about
free will.
free will. Like, yeah, people can choose whatever direction but there
Exactly.
has to be like, okay, the higher realms are like this, but there's no advertising of the higher realms, right? Like, there's no what higher realms are like, that there's no disease, no old age, no decay. You have all this, that thing, time, which is pleasant time. Everything happens up. Your surrounding is whatever you want. Whatever you think and want is your surrounding, you know, immediately. Realm like that.
It's not shown as that in the West when they show
Yeah.
heaven, they show a blank, white, empty room that's boring.
Yes, yes.
And everyone's like, I'd rather be in Earth.
Yeah, anti-advertising. Anti.
Yeah, it's a false, I
Anti-advertising.
feel like, showing of what it is. I really hope someone listens to this and creates some new entertainment and some movies, really showing the truth of what these higher realms are so we can get inspired by them and
Yeah, yeah,
can
that's a plan.
feel the
Like, yeah,
connection.
yeah, it'll be done in the future. Like, at least, and I don't want people to go too far into like how is like Rishi Lok or Gyan Lok or Tapur Lok. Okay, because that's way too. Let's focus on the one above us, just one above us.
Hmm.
That's practical for humans.
Hmm.
Even when you go on steps, you don't jump to the 10th step like that. You go step by step, right?
Hmm.
Like that's the right thing. So I think as human people should try to go to the next step and see what the heaven is like. Okay, so I look, learn more about that because that way you can it's easier for you to train your direction towards that, you know. It's like it is much more easier to that thing. And even the heavenly realm has so many things which humans, if they come to know, they'll say like, I'm going there. Like, I want this. Like,
Can you
you,
share some of those things?
yeah, like you get whatever, what do you want? No plastic surgery, nothing. You can have exactly the looks you want. Like millions of people would just want that immediately, like,
Oh, so
So
there's no
yeah.
delay between desire and manifestation.
No, right? Like, I mean, you can have whatever temperature you want, whatever kind of smell you want, whatever kind of that thing you want, whatever kind of environment you want, whatever, everything is as per your desire.
No pollution and no cell phone
Or
towers.
you're no, nothing, because you are creating, you are the creator,
Wow.
you are the manifester, which they talk about manifestation. That's not for Earth.
Yeah. Manifesting here is tricky.
Yeah, this is not the realm for that. I mean, here you have to like, okay, even by nature is like that. Earth plane nature, the rose comes with the thorn. Like, Earth plane was never meant to be. It's like a launch pad. It's not meant to be for like that. You want to spend millions of years here.
Mhm.
It's not that kind of
And in
plane.
ancient Vedic times and in the
Yeah,
Egyptian culture, they knew that so well that this was
yeah.
literally a short lifespan and they used it as a launching pad
Launching
to
pad. Earth is like a pad,
evolve.
even like it's a pad. Like it's like
Yeah,
plane.
a
You're there.
plane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where
crossing.
you can, yeah. So you can that thing to the heavens, but for that you have to have that thing. They have to advertise heaven properly.
Hmm.
Right now, advertising is for Pata.
Yeah.
There's a lot of advertising for Pata. You know, you want to become a scientist, you want to become a technician, you want to become a engineer there, and there's a lot of thing like that. But what is the way they live out there? What is their lifestyle like? You know, that they have factories. For example, people work in factories in Earth,
Hmm.
and they find it very tough. Like, the whole factory environment is very tough environment to be in, right? For a human
Hmm.
being. The Patal factories will be much worse than that and much tougher than that.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, hours will be more.
Ooh, yeah,
And
that's right, because
yeah,
there's much more lifespan.
yeah, and hours will be more even in whatever their day is, because it is going to be more of a police state.
Intensive. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's where you mentioned that surveillance
Yeah,
came
yeah,
from.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But they won't tell these kind of things in their whole advertising. They'll just show that like, okay, flying cars are running and
Yeah,
people are going
yeah.
from their apartment to another's and Star Wars with the
Yeah, and having incredibly like seductive looks that have been
yeah,
like
yeah, 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 yeah,
perfectly
yeah,
tailored.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But there are things to that plane which are like the underside of it. They will not show to humans, because that'll
Mhm.
be the scary, like to that thing. So thankfully we are coming to that point. Okay, like lower realms are being shown anyways more there, you know, like like Predator movie was there to show the like how their soldiers and stuff are like they're cops, you know,
Mhm.
in Patal, you know,
Mhm.
yeah,
It's funny how much
like
has bled over to this
yeah,
realm from that realm.
yeah, yeah. So you're already seeing all of those kind of things. So we don't need that much education. It's not like we are seeing those things. Heaven things, obviously, that's the stuff which is missing, which we'll do in the future
Yeah.
to give more of a that thing for
Yeah,
what is heaven
because
like.
Earth has different phases, right? It was in its golden age and it wasn't in the state that we are today with the problems that Earth
Yeah,
faces today. So
yeah.
these are
So
just different yugas.
golden age means heaven is controlling more
Yes.
earth, and Kali Yuga means right now's age is like Patal is controlling it more. So
Yes,
so that's the difference.
that's
So
right.
so
And
so
you had
yeah,
mentioned that we are actually on a transition out of Kali Yuga. The light is coming on. People are
yeah,
beginning to see and have the information to discern what is what. But it's
yeah,
it's a transition, so it takes some time.
yeah, yeah. That's why I don't want to confuse people by all these terms like Sotal, Vital, Mahatal, Rasatal, Talatal. What is there? when
Mm-hmm.
you don't even know what is below and what is above, which is of most relevance to you as a
Mm-hmm.
human. It's
Mm-hmm.
most relevant. It's not like to fry your head and it make it seem like a strange story, you know. Like these things are more like heavenly things, like a good sunset or nice colors and nice air and fresh things and all of that is also sort of discernible to humans.
Mm.
No disease. There are times when humans don't have any disease. They can feel like what heaven is like. There's no disease ever. And, Patal things also are happening here, which people can see in today's age very easily. So,
Yeah, that is one more thing that you mentioned that I've
yeah,
found really exciting, that you said that the colors and the fragrance and the taste in these
yeah,
higher realms are far more magnificent uh,
yes.
than you could even begin to comprehend. Colors that are so vibrant and alive and
Yeah,
radiant.
but you can get an idea. For example, if you have jasmine or rose smell on earth, like jasmine and stuff, like it's very nice, right? Like, but just increase that, like much more, then you get heaven. Okay.
Oh, lovely.
So increase all the nice fragrances much more, and you get heaven. Like so it's like that, and make them more artificial. The artificial fragrances,
Mm,
which are also you can buy right now in stores, and
yeah,
more are, then you get patal. You can get what kind of
exactly. Yeah, like
sense?
Febreze.
Yeah, what what exists in patal? You get
I bet you Febreze came from Patel.
yes. I mean all the chemical mixtures and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, because they have to come up with some things because it's not natural. Like in heaven, things are natural. They
Yeah.
happen by itself. They happen just by you manifesting power. You don't need technology in heaven. For
I
example,
love
if a
that. No
being is in
cell
heaven,
phones.
yeah, if a being in heaven wants to see what's happening on earth with anybody, they can just go like this and a screen will come up
Wow.
and they can see whatever is happening and stuff like that. For the same thing, Patal people have to do so much. They will have to have cameras here, they'll have to have internet, then Ethernet, and they'll connect that to Patal. That's when the images from Earth will travel to Patal. They'll have to make up so much systems, technological systems,
Mm. Hmm.
to get to little bit of that.
Wow. Yeah.
You
So
know,
that would mean that telecommunicating is the norm in the
yeah,
higher realms, right?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yes. So you're understanding, like, so that's why I'm saying the heavens and above, like, for example, like the Rishi Lok is like beings which can make heaven. They know how to make a heaven. Like there are beings which live in heaven, right?
Yes.
Who have psychological sorting enough that they've graduated to stay in heaven, right?
Hmm.
But those beings don't know how to make it. Like if they had to create a heaven, how would they create?
Mm. Yeah.
So the beings to learn all of that, that is more higher planes,
Yeah, that's advanced.
advanced.
Yeah.
So
And
it's advanced knowledge.
I always say people here on earth and some of the spiritual communities, I find so much distortion and delusion. And they
Yeah,
say, oh, we are God.
yeah,
And they're like, we are great already. And then I
yeah.
say, oh, really? Okay, so you're a God. So then create a
Yeah,
world,
heaven.
create a
Yeah,
universe.
yeah. Just change the Earth's even geosystem. Like there's a desert in Sahara.
Hmm.
Turn it into a green
Yeah.
tropical system because it's close to the equator. Okay. Do that first. Like that's called geoengineering. Yeah. Like it's
Mhm.
that's basic. So like that's so people are saying all kinds of things without understanding or having any kind of understanding of how universe is created, how realms are created, what is the actual way it all functions. But that's all advanced level of understanding, and no human should be talking about that kind of thing even. You know,
Mhm.
it'll be a false lie. You know,
Yeah.
that's absolutely. Like as a human being, one can actually, because this is called ego,
Hmm.
like a sense of false sense of knowing, okay, but you don't know, like like they're put through school textbooks, like sun is having nuclear fusion, and you know I know what happens in the sun. I know what sun is. You
Yeah.
don't know what the sun is, but You just are having a notion of it, which is not real. Like, so it's just unfactuality, you know. And when comes like that, then beings cannot evolve. They can't have psychological sorting, you know. So that's exactly the point. And then you'll be going down, right?
Mhm. Yeah, and
So
that's I think that's why it's so important too to just first start with the facts of where are we, like you teach,
yeah,
where are we? What is this plane that we're on? And it's
yeah,
fascinating because I started a flat Earth series on
yeah,
my channel and I went into NASA and now I'm going to do gravity next.
yeah.
And I've spoken to some people about it in the spiritual community, and I'm amazed at what they tell me every time they say, but why does it matter? Why is it even important?
Yes,
And
yeah,
I'm like, what?
yeah.
It's like the most important,
Why is facing reality important?
right?
Yeah, yeah. Step one. Why is step one important?
Yeah.
It's like saying, why is step one important? Why do we have to put water on boil for making a tea?
Yeah,
We
and it's
don't.
like they're
Yeah,
like, oh, it's all about unity consciousness and everyone being one. And
yeah.
that's such a main consensus in spiritual community. And I really reject that because I don't want to be one with everybody.
Yes,
There's a
yeah.
lot of
But you
really,
can't. But it's not a question of wanting or not wanting. It's not possible. First, it is not possible to be one with anybody. Like even two beings, they don't see anything the same or anything that thing. Everything is different. They function differently. Everything, and that is just the actual reality and factuality. You can't undo that just by saying that. You know, even those two people, like which they say that we are the same to each other, they'll still be fighting within 1 week and 2 weeks. Like so I'm talking about the possibility, actual possibility of the reality. So that's not there.
and
Like,
and they're not the same. And those that say, "Oh, we're all equal, we're all one," no, we're not. There is a hierarchy. There are beings who have far more knowledge and
yeah, yeah.
understanding on this realm than other beings. And it's
Yes,
like,
yes,
why are we
yes,
avoiding this truth? This is
ye-
fundamental.
yes. It's because by avoiding all truths, you like avoiding the fact that fire is hot.
Hmm.
You put your hand into it, like and then when you burn only, then you will say, yeah, something is there. Me and fire are not one. Like, okay, right.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like that. I mean, it's just, I mean, it's very kiddish. It's a very kindergarten
Yeah.
approach, and it's very that thing. It's not evolving. It's not. I mean, it'll actually make it tough for people to even take human birth again because the basic common sense, which is required to be a human being, earthly grounded common sense, that's missing.
Yeah.
That's why grounding and connecting to earth, to getting that basic common sense is very required. And all of these things are totally against even earthly common sense.
Yeah.
So
And
you
it's
you're
so
not even
sad.
fit to be on earth, let alone higher planes of unity consciousness, or any of these things. Like,
Mhm.
that is the fact of the matter. It's the unpleasant fact which nobody wants to hear, you know.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
so sad because the spiritual community is the place where you're supposed to come to figure all this stuff out. And people
Yeah.
come here and they're just being more
Fed.
misled.
Yeah. Yeah. That's also part of the plan, like comfortable lies.
It's
Like,
been infiltrated as well by Patel, the spiritual
yeah. Yeah. It's
community.
called New Age.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
And I
I
think
mean, there were
many
different,
religions too.
yeah. After Christianity, then
Yeah.
science,
Yeah.
and then came New Age.
Yeah.
There
They've
are
done a
different
great
ways.
job. Yeah.
There are different ways to create distraction and illusion.
Distortions, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah.
I know we don't want to get too much into the higher realms, and we won't. I just wanted to touch upon the highest realm just in terms of inspiration. Personally, I love to see the potential of how far and how great the human experience and the consciousness can evolve to. And that's why I've been so inspired by researching these realms. And
Yeah.
the last one, Satya Loka, I wrote the highest realm within the manifested universe and the abode of Brahma. Satyalok is regarded as the realm of truth, wisdom, and stillness, representing the summit of cosmic existence. There is no birth and no death, only pure consciousness. This realm is inhabited by sages, those of deep wisdom and insight. Yeah,
That
it's
is when we are talking about truth here of this realm, like that's facts, like that deals with the universal facts, like what universe is made of, the sounds, the Veds, and how they are used to create the realms, the actual nitty-gritty of the universe. It's facts, not any kind of new age woo-woo kind of absolutely anti of that,
yeah.
realm, like where everything is factual, like not one fiction, not a shred of fiction, like absolute reality.
Oh, how
And
wonderful that would be to exist in that plane of
yeah,
existence.
absolute reality. There's no room for any kind of distortion, even of the pure principles. You're living in the pure principles itself, like there
Right.
is no. So that way, there is obviously that is beyond time. You're in a timeless state, like it is like experiencing, bliss, like in continual bliss.
Yeah.
Bliss increases as the planes increase, like the higher planes. You know, just like hard work and technology increases as the planes go down. You know,
Oh,
so,
yeah, that's
yeah,
right. The hard work, the struggle.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So the competition,
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah,
Having the economy and having to survive to just live.
yeah, all of that. Like so higher planes are just much more pleasant
Yeah.
and blissful and easy. You know,
Easy, more in the flow. And I love that too, because there's this misconception too of, oh, the harder you work, the more result, the more you put yourself through all of this pain and torture, like the greater. And
yeah,
I really think that a lot of women, especially because they've been brought into this patriarchal way of thinking and being thrown into the workforce with women's liberation, and they are really turning into manly characteristics and are exhausted and are realizing.
I think it's
Yeah.
beyond like gender things like patriarchy or matriarchy. It's patal way of being for
Mm.
both genders, all
Yeah.
genders now. They have confused the genders also, like there are hundreds of genders now. So
Oh.
it's yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like the patal, like no pain, no gain, sort
Yes.
of sort
And
of t-shirt,
the good
you
news
know.
is that a lot of my female friends are realizing that they've been sold this lie and
Yeah,
they're not benefiting any from it. So they're just kind
yeah,
of relinquishing it and taking
yes,
on a new understanding and movement in the world and are really being more graceful with themselves and their
yes,
energy.
yes.
So I have seen quite a bit of a nice change there, at least with the women so far.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, with the human body, you have to have certain discipline. I'm not saying don't have to have discipline, but
Hmm.
that discipline is not exactly the painful discipline which they talk about. Like, it's
Mm,
not like working in the factory for 14 hours or 16 hours sort of
exactly.
discipline. It is a different kind of discipline,
Hmm.
which is
Eating
required to go
right,
higher.
speaking
Yeah,
truth,
yeah,
centering,
yeah,
meditating, having
yeah,
a
yeah.
relationship with nature.
Yeah. So that's the sort of discipline which is required, which is not a painful
It's
discipline. It's a
very
more
pleasant.
it's a pleasant discipline. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's yes, so it's that's the difference. So that's how we can understand realms on earth. We can understand a little bit of heaven through the, like in Lower Ocean. I've tried to show people music, which is more heavenly, and more sights, more nature, sunsets, which is more heavenly aspect of earth.
Mhm.
And then there are more that thing aspects of earth, you
Mm.
know lower aspects, which the Discovery Channel will show you, and things like that. You know,
Yeah.
they'll go into some little, the insects and stuff, and close-ups of them, and yeah, their life cycle and their that thing, which is all lower sort of things which exist on Earth. So Earth has both these like glimpses of both
Hmm. Yeah.
sort of things. But
I
yes,
hope that going through this video will help those
yeah.
watching to now that they know this, they'll be able to discern and to see what is
Mhm.
feeding in from what realm. And I think that
Yes.
will give them more guidance as to the direction that they want to go into.
Yes, like crop circles and stuff are coming from higher realm, like stamps from higher realm, like Bhuvaloka and Swargaloka, on
Mhm.
Earth. And there are things which are coming from Patal which are affecting, which we are seeing everywhere. That is, we don't
Mhm.
even need to talk about it, like because the whole corporate world and everything and the technology is there everywhere. So to which is coming from the that thing. So I think that should be called Patal. So that's why I was not into the semantics of it that much. I think the concept is more important than some Sanskrit terms which people find strange. You know, like it is more the concept which is more important for people, I think, and understanding the reality of it, like something which they can sort of relate to on Earth itself.
Yeah.
Something
And
which
use
is
it ultimately towards their evolution if that is their
yeah,
aim.
yeah. That is like rather than some strange fictional story. I don't want to give them like fictional stories like that, you
Yeah.
know. And the more realities, once you go up, you will come to know more about the higher planes. And when
Yeah,
you go down, I think you will come to know more about the lower planes. Like you will, in
exactly.
reality, like factuality, like but you can get an idea of both while being on Earth, you
Mm.
know. And that's the most important bit for humans.